How you doing, Patriots? It's November 29th, 2025. And we're here to document another week of the demise of the Democrat Party. I hope it's just the Democrat Party because I don't know what to make of the Republican Party anymore at this point. It has been a crazy, crazy week. It started out with the seditious six doing a video putting doubt into everybody's mind who's in the military. That wasn't a message to me or anybody who isn't in the military. That was a spearheaded message to the people that are in the military. And what I read into it was that you should second guess everything, unlawful commands. You should not obey an unlawful command. And the first thing that popped into my head was, well, was that like the COVID shot command that the military gave everybody? And there was a lot of men that didn't need to be prompted by any representatives in our government or anything. But when they heard that command that they were supposed to get an experimental vaccine for whatever lies that they were telling us, that they stood down. They did not listen to that command. And what happened to all the military personnel that did not take that jab? They tried to get out of it due to religious reasons or whatever. There was many different excuses on how to get out of it, but the ones that couldn't find a legitimate excuse to get out of that unlawful command to take the COVID jab, they were just eliminated from the military. And I don't know. It's quite the paradigm. This is the kind of things that they're trying to shatter our mental acuity, man. How you doing, Patriots? Party Bonza, good to see you, bud. D. McLean, howdy. Deb Vi, how's it going? I got my watermark in there for a little while. Beverly, how are you, Beverly? It's good to see you all. So yeah, don't obey an unlawful command, but look what happens when you do, and when it is actually an unlawful command, because all them people got hired back, you know? Or I guess they got hired back. I'm not quite sure. Who would want to go back after an ordeal like that with the military, right? If you're told to take the jab, and you're like, no, I'm not doing it because it ain't right, and my body, my choice. It's spiraling into nonsense. The age of absurdity is here, for sure. For sure. So that seditious six people, Title 18 of the U.S. Code, Section 2387, says that you cannot sow dissent into the minds of the military. Right there it is. So now we're all sitting here waiting for law enforcement or whatever entity is supposed to take those types of problems under their belt. We're just waiting on them. Like we've been waiting on since we've been waiting on the birth certificate police for Obama now for getting on almost 15 years now. It's the inactivity of all these systems that Congress has put in place for our safety, for the upholding of the Constitution, and they are just no-shows every single time, man. So that was one thing there. Let's see, Judge Boasberg's still in office. All the crimes that guy committed in the J6 trials, and with the issuing of the 197 subpoenas for Jack Smith and the prosecution of President Trump, all those injustices that Judge Boasberg has done as a judge in D.C., and the government, the Congress, nobody's done anything. The Bar Association, the checks and balances are broken right now in this country. So I don't know what to make of it, man. I don't know where we're heading right now. There's a lot of stuff going on, man. I'm just trying to stay focused on where Trump is leading us right now, and I'm still 100% behind what Trump is doing. I agree with everything he's doing. He's just issued a no-fly zone over Venezuela like yesterday, and we're kind of waiting to see what's going on there. We got battle groups in the ocean right outside of Venezuela right now, and it does seem like Trump is all over the world while we got all these problems here in America. But we do have a Congress right here in America that is continually dropping the ball. Continually dropping the ball. Let's see if I got the Trump tweet itself for that. Well, there's the one tweet that he did, the seditious behavior tweet. And I got to agree 100% with that statement. Seditious behavior, punishable by death. It's pretty straightforward right there. So, all right, who's supposed to be taking care of this? Pete Hegseth, right? And it looks like Pete Hegseth is addressing it. I guess all these things take time. We're all used to waiting around for everything for decades now. And I'll tell you, man, it's getting old. I was just reading Psalms 94, the last couple of days here. And it's, how long, God? How long are you going to let the people who trample the widows and the aliens and the children of God, how long till they are brought to justice, to the heavenly courts, man, the courts of righteousness and true justice? How long? Well, we're still waiting, and we're still good. And yeah, I mean, what else can we do, right? We can't just go out and do it. What do we do here? What do we do? Do we hang out, wait for a miracle? Is that what we're supposed to be doing? Or do we go out and fix this ourselves somehow? Do we go surround the prison in Colorado where Tina Peters is until they let her go? We're waiting on Ed Martin to take care of matters with Tina Peters, get her transferred to a federal facility because she will be used supposedly in the future as a witness in an election fraud trial that never seems to materialize, man. I don't know, man. What's up there, Illinois for MAGA? How's it going, Sean? Good to see you, bud. Hope you had a good Thanksgiving. I hope everybody had a good Thanksgiving. Hope you had a chance to hang out with people that you like and your families. And if you didn't have family, I hope you had a just nice day of peace, at least. I had a bunch of family over, and I'm just really demoralized by the propaganda that's in this country, that people who don't have a whole lot of time to look into things they think the country's heading in the wrong direction right now, Yet we are heading in the right direction right now. Everything's coming to light on what's going on. We got something that came to light this week was this autism scandal, where in the Muslim communities in Minnesota, the autism rate is like 10 times the national rate of the rest of the country. And that's because they get extra money for that. So while I got a meme about that somewhere, I'm not going to look it up right now. But they were getting money from the government, having their children declared autistic, and then they receive extra payments from whoever gives out the free money. And then apparently they were sending that money to the people in Somalia who were then causing troubles for American military interests over there. You know, it's pretty crazy, man. It is pretty freaking crazy. Let me see if I can find that one. Well, I don't know. Here, we'll just look at that for a while so you don't got to look at me geeking out on the screen, man. Whoa, it flipped around. Whoa, don't get dizzy. Don't get dizzy. It's on the TV, so it must be true. Yeah, sure. Looks like you're supposed to be getting some rain out there, huh? Or some snow. Some snow, actually. Oh, man. I don't know. I don't know. I can't find it. So yeah, Patriots. Tina Peters is still rotting in prison in a Colorado prison somewhere. We can't get her out of there. She is definitely a hero, a patriot, as much so as Ashley Babbitt or you know, any of the people who came and exposed the election fraud. We've exposed all this election fraud, and then judges just shut the whole thing down. A lot like the Comey and Letitia James prosecutions were just shut down this week by another judge, you know? How is this supposed to happen? The courts are not interested in prosecuting criminals anymore. It just seems to be pretty bad, man. Hiya, Trina. It's good to see you. Uh-oh, it just started snowing in your area in Michigan. Uh-oh, yeah, it looked like you guys up in Wisconsin and Michigan were going to get it. Especially on the east side of the Great Lakes there. It was looking like you're going to get a lot of snow. Good 6 inches of snow. But it happens every year. No surprises there, right? Might be a little early this year, but no surprises there. Hello, Priscilla. It's good to see you. So yeah, I'm just watching what's going on. And we got the spirit of division seems to be in the air, and it seems to have been in the air for, I'm saying, like a month now, because all this, ever since Charlie Kirk, man, the whole Charlie Kirk thing kind of set it off, where I thought we were a team, and then all of a sudden, certain people on the team started saying, "Whoa, it's Kash Patel isn't doing a good job," right? And we haven't even really heard what Kash Patel is going to present in a court of law yet, because it's still an ongoing investigation, which is the same lame excuse that we've been getting from the FBI forever. So there's that. And then the division, it's just everywhere. The division with the Jake Lang thing in Dearborn, Michigan. I'm shocked at what I'm seeing right now with that, man. Where actual J6ers are dissing other J6ers. I mean, there's no cohesion there anymore. They're disintegrating, man. We have this whole group of J6ers and the people who protested outside the prison for that long, for 900 days. It's just rifling through the whole camp, man, splitting us up, one by one, splitting us up, man. Not good at all. And that seems to be the spirit that's in the air, man. And then the Marjorie Taylor Greene thing. Marjorie Taylor Greene and Trump went at it, you know, and I don't understand what's going on there, but I'm not going to, like, totally do a pivot on Trump, because that's what he said about Marjorie Taylor Greene. He called Marjorie Taylor Greene a traitor, and that's shocking, man. It reminds me of what happened with Mark Gates. and how he was looking like he was a shoo-in to be the Attorney General. And all of a sudden, Mark Gaetz isn't even in government anymore. He just backed out, man. So it's a vicious swamp there in D.C., obviously, man. Not for the faint of heart, that's for sure. And we got to really appreciate the ones that are standing up there in D.C. for us. It is not a job I would want to be doing right now. That's for sure. So it seems like we got this gridlock in Congress. I don't know what Congress has done in the last week. They voted to disavow socialism or something. They did something totally meaningless. Meanwhile, I'm finding out that there are Trump appointments that have still not been confirmed by the Republican majority Senate and House of Representatives. Still, Trump is still waiting on some of his appointments in his job is to appoint people for hundreds and hundreds of positions, and they are not done yet. There are still appointments to be made, and they're definitely dragging that out, man. And that's what happened with the Comey and the Letitia James cases, man. The person that was appointed that brought the charges was temporarily assigned to that because nobody's been appointed to that yet. And that's how that got shot down, as far as I can understand. Trump has designated the Muslim Brotherhood as a terrorist organization. And I think that's really shocking that that's the route we're going here. I don't know, man. So this was a good time for me to just kind of back away from things for a while, take a couple breaths, try to stay plugged in, but I'm not trying to put in too much input into things right now because I don't like what I'm seeing at all. I'm disgusted by it. I'm disgusted by the splits that is happening in our camp right now. So I'm not going to add to it at all. I'm going to just try to step back. You guys fight it out, figure it out. You're either with Trump, you're either make America great again, or you're not, basically. But focusing your energies on attacking other people that are MAGA also is not good fruit, basically. We can have differences, but we got to have more that unites us than our differences here. And like I was saying with the propaganda, it's just obvious that some people don't have a lot of time. If you got a family and a job and, other things, you got a life that you're living, you don't got a lot of time to watch the news. And I'm seeing even Fox News, man, even Fox News. Let me give you one example of that right now that I just noticed today. I'm watching Fox News clips from yesterday, right? And you guys all know this footage from Afghanistan that we've seen with this big airplane and all these Afghanis running underneath it and stuff. That footage has been played and played and played and played. And then there was other footage that showed an airplane that looks a lot like that one taking off. And there were people hanging onto the wheels and they were falling from the sky. And I'm going to call this out right now, Patriots. Look at this airplane. When you watch this video of that airplane, you can see the nose of the airplane starts lifting up, and people that look like they're on the wheel of the front of that, they start jumping on the wheel, and then the nose of the airplane starts coming down, okay? Do you understand what this airplane is? This airplane is an inflatable decoy. That all our military bases have these airplanes on their properties because they're decoys that they put out so that satellites can take pictures of our bases, and it looks like there's airplanes that are there that aren't really there, basically. When you zoom in, I don't know how much I'm going to be able to zoom in, but look at that windshield, all right? This is an inflatable airplane, Patriots. And I don't know why this footage keeps getting played and played. There are no seams in the metalwork on the fuselage of that plane. If that was a real plane, you would see lines with rivets all over the place on that, okay? Look at the windshield. Look at the way the sun is glinting off the windshield. That's nothing but black vinyl. That is not a window. I might be getting out there, Patriots, but this is what I see here. Where's another shot here? All right, now when you look inside the engine compartment, the engine of that airplane, there is no fan blades in there. There's no, you know, that center thing? It's in every jet engine there is. There's a bunch of fan blades in there with a cone in the middle of that engine, okay? They've been playing this video for 3-4 years now, ever since this happened, all right? And this is Fox News. Just yesterday, they played this clip of video over and over and over again on Fox News, okay? I don't know why they can't show us real stuff, but they insist on playing this footage over and over again. And it's not there. That's an inflatable airplane. When you watch the whole video of the whole thing, you can see the nose of the airplane come slightly rising up. A bunch of guys jump on the front wheel, and then it comes back down. So I don't know what they were doing, what their purpose was in filming this whole charade, but it's really pissing me off, man. It's really pissing me off. And I don't know if we need to have, like, you know, military ops, psyops for our purposes. Is like Trump team doing psyops on us because they have to? Is there some need to lie to the American people? So I don't know. I don't know. Make of it what you will, Patriots. All right, so some of you see Party Bonza, you see a Trina. Next time you see that video footage, you can see the nose of that airplane comes a foot or two off the ground. And they try to hide it, but you can actually see guys jumping onto the front wheel of that airplane, and it comes down. I don't know why they just keep playing this lie over and over and over on television, man. They're still playing it to this day, man. Trump is, and Congress is doing nothing. The courts are totally corrupted. I don't know how Trump won his cases in court because they are totally corrupted, man. And there's still all these AI bots out in the chats and making videos, and influencers just making all kinds of lies about Trump still has 94 felonies. You know, they still say that stuff when all them charges were baloney with the E. Jean Carroll thing. And when you look into it, the jury did not convict Trump of rape. They had a list of 34 felonies, and the judge gave an illegal directive to the jury and said, if you think he just broke one of them, then he's guilty of all of them, right? It was a total sham that shouldn't be allowed in this country, but it is. It's the standard for the courts right now to be just making a mockery of law and order and justice right here. So maybe God's just showing us what a total system of malarkey looks like, you know. I believe in the one true God. He is the author of justice, and I'm trying to abide by his laws. I'm trying to abide, and I'm waiting patiently for our righteous King to descend back onto this earth, man, because he's definitely not here now. And if he was here right now, things would be much different. That is for sure, man. So we await. He's standing at the right hand of God's throne right now. And when the time is right, he's going to be coming back, and everyone's going to see it. It's going to be pretty obvious, man. And the flood of propaganda. I mean, there is no excuse for this, man. We had something called the Smith-Mundt Act, which said you're not allowed to propagandize the American people, okay? Britain could try to propagandize us, or Australia, or any other country could try to do it, but you couldn't use American assets to propagandize that. And then Obama did away with that with the Smith-Mundt Modernization Act. So it seems like a no-brainer to just say, okay, the Smith-Mundt Modernization Act is taken away, and we're back to the Smith-Mundt Act, which says you can't propagandize to people. There was also a rule where the CIA was not allowed to spy on American citizens. But the Patriot Act took that away. That said that, all right, but if they're in the Patriot Act said if an American citizen was in communication with the terrorists, then we were allowed to spy on him. The CIA was allowed to spy on him. So you can see how we had everything kind of straightened out in the early 2000s until George Bush brought the Patriot Act into being, and until Obama did the Smith-Mundt Modernization Act, and then from there it just went haywire, man. Hello, Patriot Roy D. Good to see you, brother. It's getting tired, getting tired of waiting for it, man. So there does seem to be a lot of these just no-brainer, easy fixes. We need to see some justice, man. We see this totally corrupted court system. We have one judge in our sights, Judge Boasberg, and it is just documented the atrocities that he has done behind the bench of one of the U.S. courts in our capital. And all Congress has to do is show us that they got a pulse, basically. Get that guy off the bench, man. He's not going to get hung. He's not going to get thrown in jail. He's not going to do a prison sentence. Just remove him from the bench. That's all we need to see. We just need to see a pulse out of Congress. And I think they're deadlining right now. There's nothing happening in our Congress right now. And then how do we get around that? There is nothing but corruption going on in our court systems. This gal in Chicago was just lit on fire, literally. A nice, beautiful 20-something-year-old gal on a subway was lit on fire by a man who had been through the court system and charged with different things 71 times. And how does that even happen? What don't we have like a 3 strikes law? I thought there was a 3 strikes law. I don't know. Maybe when I wasn't paying attention, they took the 3 strikes law and put the 70 strikes law into action or something. But how can a guy get run through the courts 70 times and be out to violently alter somebody's life like that? And it just goes on and on and on. Irina Zarutska, same thing, man. A dude was in and out of course. The revolving door let him in and out. Same thing with the National Guardsmen in D.C. Okay, so that's the other news that I don't think I covered on the last live stream. We've had 2 National Guardsmen shot just a couple of blocks from the White House. So Trump wanted to bring in the National Guardsmen. They made it known that these guardsmen, I don't know if they were armed or not. I think they were armed. Here's a story I got, okay? This guy who shot them had a gun that had 5 bullets in it. He came up, there was a gal, and he shot the gal, took her gun, and then her pistol, and then started shooting other people. And then other guardsmen came in, shot the guy, restrained him until the DC police got to the scene and got on the guy and arrested him. Turns out this guy was part of the Afghani evacuation program where the phony airplane was shot. That guy was loading up on an airplane that day and came to America. The vetting process, they claimed, many people brought up the fact that these people weren't being vetted when it was happening. They insisted that they were vetted, okay? Well, what were they vetted for? They were supposedly friends of the Americans there in Afghanistan. So the people that we were vetting to help us there in Afghanistan is not the same vetting process that you would do to invite somebody to live in our country, okay? You were inviting seditious people in Afghanistan. You were vetting people that hated their government in Afghanistan to help us topple that government in Afghanistan, you know? Help us keep Bagram Airport open. Help us do what we were doing in Afghanistan. Trump had a pull-out plan, and FJB rigged an election, got into power, and left 13 service members to die over there, and hundreds and hundreds of other Afghanis that were helping us didn't get on them flights, and the ones that did get here were the amazing people, like the guy that shot the 2 guardsmen in D.C. a couple of days ago. And it's just getting harder and harder to keep my brain wrapped around all of that stuff, right? Hello, C for Freedom. Good to see you, man. Down in Florida. So I don't know, man. We got to see a pulse in Congress. We got to see something going on. Mike Johnson is, putting his mug in all the photos. When people come to the White House, there's Mike Johnson standing there. But I really don't know what him and Thune are doing. There are still Trump appointments that need to be certified that are not done, man. And I don't know. All right, so there have been many, many mall shootings in America since then, since Trump got in office, okay? The mall shootings kind of stopped while FJB was in office, but these mall shootings, these church shootings, they've just been happening on a regular schedule. And that's what they do. That's how they divert the attention. We got the Epstein hoax, right? Trump was calling it a hoax because what the hoax of the Epstein dilemma is that Trump is in the Epstein files, okay? Are we ever going to really see the video footage from Epstein Island and from his New Mexico place, his New York place? We got these girls that were kind of like call girls on the island there. They were all like teenagers, but were there child sacrifices going on in that temple on that island? I mean, if there was, why hide that information? There could be no excuse unless you're inhuman to hide that type of information, man. So we got to see what's going to eventually come out with the Epstein stuff. But it just never comes out. That's the whole thing, It just never comes out. And I'm not digging it. Sometimes I just don't know what to make of it. I got to just go to bed, wake up tomorrow, and see if something finally came of it, right? So the shooter in D.C. Is alive. And Judge Jeanine Pirro has been making statements on the charges that they're going to be putting him through. The 2 guardsmen that were shot weren't immediately killed, but they were seriously maimed, and one of them has died. Another just beautiful 20-something-year-old gal who had just signed up for duty like a day or 2 before, just taken the oath, and had volunteered to work that day so others could be with their families for Thanksgiving. Just a total heinous crime, man. Yeah, Priscilla, that's kind of what it feels like. Like we got too many books open at the same time, right? Yeah, we want the death penalty for that shooter guy. And this shooter guy, was he? I don't know what to make of it. What, was he a radical when he came here? Was he radicalized after he got here? He was obviously radicalized. He looked very well fed. I mean, he was a chunky looking dude, because we all got to see what he looked like with no shirt on while they were loading him up into an ambulance there on the scene. But it's just a huge slap in the face every time one of these things happens, man. Right, Priscilla, 5 kids, a wife, had an apartment, drove all the way from Washington State. I mean, that's about as far as you can drive in America, unless you're going down to Florida or something from Washington State. That's like a 5-day trip of driving 24 hours a day to get here from there. And then he had a revolver with 5 bullets. It didn't even have it loaded up with bullets. I mean, what was his plan? What is his purpose? Why did he do it? He's obviously not cooperating, so I don't think we'll ever know. But it's another instance where I'm not even going to speculate. I mean, I could speculate on a lot of that stuff, but I'm not going to do that right now. So we got to pray for the team, Patriots. We got to we just got to turn our hearts to God, man. Ask him to deliver us. We need to see a rescue here, because our side is taking hits, man. Every day, another couple of MAGA people dead. Trump, the achievements of Trump are through the roof right now. But there are just people that want more out of Trump, but they aren't willing to look at Congress and say, you guys got to start carrying your fair share of the load here, right? They shut the government down for 45 days in the middle of Trump's presidency again. He has a majority in the Senate and the House. It's the same thing that happened on his first term. They hamstrung him from day one. The Republicans got no teeth. They won't fight back. And that's the uniparty. You know, that's how it's been operating in D.C. for decades now, man. Timothy, right. A CIA asset, no less. Right. And I've heard it. So all we really know is what the mainstream media is feeding us with this information. And who even knows if that's true, okay? That's kind of where I'm at now. I'm just like walking out the front door, looking around and seeing what I see. And that's the only thing that I know is reality, you know? I know the 2 guardsmen were shot in D.C., but I don't know if this guy was actually playing video games, you know, because the propaganda is just everywhere. It just sucks. It sucks bad, man. All right, and Trump's victories, okay? He closed the border down, okay? There were millions of illegal immigrants coming to this country for 4 years under Joe Biden, man. Trump shut that down. It's 0 now, right? And furthermore, he just recently shut down all other visas coming into the country. Shut it all down. It's shut down. There are no asylum people coming into America right now, which is going to hurt a lot of good people, basically. So I hope there is still some type of an operation going on to help these people where they're at if they can't come here, because there are people all over the world that are being persecuted. Their lives are are under threat, you know, like the Christians that they just slaughtered in Nigeria and that, and the South African people down there. What else did Trump do? Just tons of stuff. Pardoned all the J6ers. Day one, man. Stopped all these wars that were going on all around the world without using the military to do it. You know, he picked up the might that the American economy carries, and he used that to stop wars. That's the kind of leadership we need in this country, where the first knee-jerk reaction to anything isn't sending in the military. This thing going down in Venezuela, that's a different story, man. That Maduro guy, these cartels that we've been learning about on the border of Mexico are like the small potatoes, okay? Maduro is the big potato. He is the, Chapo. Remember Chapo? We've got him. We arrested him. They said, oh, he was a billionaire. He was worth $1.6 billion, right? Well, Maduro and the people up in Venezuela are worth $100 billion, okay? These people are filthy rich. They can hire armies. They can literally pay for armies out of their own pocket. So this is a whole different instance that's going on in Venezuela right now. And I am all for it. I am all for Trump securing the Western Hemisphere against these terrorists, man. Deb Vi did not hear about an Afghan national who was planning on planting a bomb in Texas. No, I didn't hear that one yet. And there is no doubt about it. Hundreds of these people waiting to commit atrocities, man. I had a bad feeling about Black Friday after Thanksgiving because I know that this is going to ramp up, man. If you carry, make sure you're carrying lately and keep your eyes open, man. I don't say go out and look for trouble, but heads up for trouble, man. Don Brown, he's a good guy, right, Belinda? Vote him in. And that's where we need to be involved with our local elections and making sure these people are MAGA, they make sure they're America first, and make sure they are ready to jump in and start helping with the load here. Because right now, it's just Trump and the cabinet doing all the heavy lifting right now. Just this week, there was something called another victory for Trump. All right. Oh, and then we got all these Bondi bashers and Kash Patel bashers, all right, because they want to see heads rolling, all right? So heads are rolling, okay? But it's not like El Chapo. It isn't like Comey. Those heads aren't rolling, but they have busted tens of thousands of people that were involved in the human trafficking and drug trades in this country. And really, that was what was needed immediately, okay? Because Americans were dying at the rate of 100,000 people a year due to fentanyl getting into this country. So they have clamped down on that. Basically, we're still stopping the bleeding from the Biden administration here. All right, this is what do you call that? Triage. When you're in a car accident, you can't start rehabilitating until you stop the bleeding, until you set the broken bones, and we're still at that point. We're in triage still in this country. And the focus of the Trump's cabinet is on that. Deporting, start a reverse migration out of this country because that's what's got to happen. These people got to go. They are not allowed to be here illegally, but we have tolerated it, or we haven't tolerated. Our government, our law enforcement, the people in charge that we pay to be in charge of this have been asleep at the wheel on the whole thing. Right, that was the Operation Allies Welcome that the shooter from D.C. came over on. So there's hundreds more of these people in this country right now that have been settled here, that thousands and tens of thousands of dollars have gone their way. They are settling in areas all together, like Somalia, like Minnesota, Minneapolis, Dearborn, Michigan. Oh, I didn't know that, Ann. The guy who shot Guardsman had a run-in with police in Virginia, shot a VA officer. Wow, I didn't know that. Is that Virginia or Veterans Administration? That has to be Virginia, on your statement there. So another huge, huge victory that we have had this week that nobody's heard of was something called Operation Gold Rush. We uncovered and prosecuted a $14.6 billion medical scam. 324 doctors, nurses, and executives have been charged. It is the largest healthcare fraud in U.S. history to date. This just happened right before Thanksgiving, man. And nobody's heard of it. Fox News, I don't know, did they put that on the TV? Does anybody know that that's true? We got huge, we're surrounded by fraud. We're surrounded by corruption. We're surrounded by evil people. And we are chipping away at them. Pam Bondi is chipping away at it. Tens of thousands of arrests. Hundreds of children found. Some of these lost children that we've been hearing about for so long. Hundreds of them have been found. Human traffickers have been arrested. Drug runners have been arrested. Fentanyl has been seized off of the streets, man. Wow, Ann. So this guy was on the radar. I also, what I'm hearing, and I don't know if this is true or not, but that guy had a very unusual name, and I'm hearing that there were like Google searches for this guy's name a couple of days prior to him shooting these people. So I think we have ways of tracking this now on the internet. And Trump has made statements in the past that he says we got it all. And I got to believe that. But why isn't the action being taken yet? And I got to believe that there is a legitimate reason why this is still not solved yet. And I can't imagine. I can only speculate why that is, but I got to believe it, man, because Trump has proven himself to be right time and time again. And the people that he has on the cabinet, I think, are truth tellers, man. They are coming out with information that we need. And we just got to go with the plan. They do scare the hell out of people there, and that's what I think happened to Marjorie Taylor Greene. That's what we're talking about, the swamp, man. If you're a pervert, they let you be a pervert, but you're now a puppet for somebody, and that's how they get people. And the ones that they can't get tripped up in any other way, they just scare them to death, man. So yeah, I heard that Trump cabinet members are taking measures. They have moved onto military bases, onto housing and military bases, and which is atrocious. To think that has to occur in this country, that just means that your law enforcement isn't legit, is not actually protecting the people that are fighting for this country. So someday we're going to know how close this country came to total collapse, total failure. It happened a couple of times. Luckily, Hillary didn't get put in. Luckily, Kamala didn't get put in. And I don't know, but we're taking the hits, man. We lost a good one when they killed Charlie Kirk, man. That guy was smart. I had no idea how smart that guy was and how young he was and how committed he was. But that's where I am at. I'm with Charlie Kirk 100% of the way. I am with Trump 100% of the way. Not 99%, 100%, because whatever it is, the reason that he's doing things has to be the way that they need to happen, because he's smarter than me. He knows, he's got the plan. He's been planning on this for a long time, and there are undercover people on his side that I pray for every night, man. These people are out there risking their lives to save this country. And I think we just got to stay committed and pray for him, man. Put our trust in God. There is no other God besides him that, is worthy. He is the one true God, the creator God. He knit us together in the womb. I too was a man trapped in a woman's body, and then I got born. And this is all art of the war, art of the deal stuff, man, that's going on. John Kennedy, a week before he got assassinated, was talking about these secret societies that are running this, embedded in this country. And it's true. It is true. And that's what we're fighting, man. We can never relax about fighting these people, man. Ever again. I'm going to 100% put the death of this Sarah gal at the feet of Joe Biden, man. That man has blood on his hands. God bless this young woman for wanting to stand up for this country. Why do we know more about this National Guard shooter than we know about Timothy Crooks, the guy who supposedly tried to shoot Trump and Butler? Right, Priscilla, J6, J13, same thing. Nothing makes sense. The only thing that I see happening is good people going down, one by one. Hundreds of thousands of us, man. And we're just flooded with propaganda. And most people got no time to even dive under the waves of the propaganda to even think anything is happening. Everybody thinks the country's going down. We're electing communists for city mayors now. We're allowing the immigrants in this country to be treated better than the people on the streets here in America. I blame Joe Biden. It's because of you, Joe Biden, that this woman is dead right now. Okay, wow, I didn't even cover that. That happened this week too. Trump made an edict about the auto pen. All auto pen proclamations are null and void. 10 months into his presidency. Amen, Timothy. Back to the Bible is good. A despicable man. Isn't it weird that in America our flag and our culture offends so many people, but our benefits don't? What do they want to be here for? We know why they're here. If you just read their book, you'll know why they're here. Another bunch of useful idiots for these secret societies to use to enslave the whole world. Christopher Wray's FBI was investigating Charlie Kirk and Turning Point USA, and not the Somalians in Minnesota funding al-Shabaab, using their children to have them diagnosed with autism at a rate 10 times the national average and sending that money back to Somalia. Christopher Wray had 5,000 FBI agents working on the J6 Patriots, man. Yeah, the Venezuela thing is way deeper than anybody's saying on TV right now. Venezuela, in conjunction with Castro from Cuba, are the ones that invented the rigged elections. That information has been out there for 5 years now that I know of. So that means they knew about it even before that. But it's only now just coming to light. They've had over 10 months to pass secure election laws and impeach rogue judges, and still nothing. C4 Freedom, a lot of streamers are going on live over Maduro. Yeah, I'd like to know what's going on there in Venezuela. What's the plan? And there was 10 other things that I wanted to talk about, but I didn't take very good notes this week because it was Thanksgiving weekend. But all I know is that we're surrounded with people like this, man. Our government is infiltrated. Right here, this is a perfect example of an enemy of the United States of America. And that happened, what, 6 years ago? And then they were all waving Ukrainian flags on the floor of our House of Representatives. Yeah, Priscilla, I don't trust Mike Johnson either, unless he's some kind of MAGA mole, you know, that he's trying to act a certain way, but when the time comes, these people need to pass this voter act. If we don't pass that voter ID act by election time 2026, November 2026, so we got 1 year now to pass that bill, then kiss it all goodbye. It's just absurd that we have to do an act of Congress to make people show an ID to prove that they're legitimate to vote in American elections. Hi, Carol. Big Johnson is really a little weenie. Well, C4, some are saying he is going to send planes to USA. He's already got militants here in the United States of America, and that's what I'm saying. Be careful. Heads up. Heads up, man. Things could light up fast here. Oh, I know what I wanted to say. The auto pen thing. Yeah, we got on it, and I skipped right over it. So President Trump has declared that all auto pen proclamations are illegal, and that includes executive orders, that includes all the pardons, and I do believe that includes Ketanji Jackson. So what we're going to need is a little bit of action from Congress, but I don't see that happening. I don't know. We had a great country, Patriots. So, all right, it's time to get the snow shovels out then, right? Dust off the snow shovels. Give them a good coat of wax. That's what I do. I used to shovel snow for a living. And if you wax your snow shovels with car wax, it makes shoveling a lot nicer, man. Priscilla, we'll just stay plugged in. It's been a shit show for a long time, right? I'm still waiting. And I saw the whole thing unfold with George Bush, you know, the Patriot Act. We all said, well, even before then, Clinton, NAFTA, everybody, we knew NAFTA was just a bad deal, but they did it anyways. We knew the Patriot Act was going to be used to take freedoms away from us, but they did it anyways. So hopefully this is the time where we're taking this country back. We're going to reorganize it. We're going to give authority, strip authority from those who have it and redelegate authority somehow or another. And I do believe that our military is the way it's going to have to happen, because every other bureaucracy is compromised or corrupted, captured already. We're in a deep hole, man. It's time to start digging our way out. But at least we're not digging ourselves further into the hole. At least the border's closed, the fentanyl shut down, and all that. I mean, the bleeding is almost stopped at this point. And, D. McLean styling with the tractor with a bucket on it. Right on, man. All right, we got it. Yes, all Afghan refugee resettlement was halted on day one, January 20th. Afghanistan was travel banned as well. Good. That's what needs to happen. Stop the bleeding, at least. Stop the bleeding. So we'll leave it at that, Patriots. Give it another week. I'm sure there'll be a ton more to talk about then, right? Things are happening real fast. I'm getting close to the scriptures, man. I've been reading scriptures quite a bit this week, and it definitely feels good. It gets you out of this crazy world that's out there. And it just gives me peace to sit down and read the words of our God that he miraculously preserved for us all the way down through these ages. That and it does give me peace. So I suggest, if you're feeling really wigged out by everything, that's definitely what I would recommend doing. Get back into it. Get back into the scriptures, man. Keep us centered. Try to ignore the haters, even the ones in MAGA. Just detach. Maybe they'll come around and then we can reattach with them. But for right now, they're just destroying each other, bickering back and forth between themselves, and that's not a good use of your mental acuity and stuff like that, right? Amen, Belinda. We'll leave it at that. God is good all the time, Patriots. Thank you for joining me. And we'll give it another week and try it again. All right. God bless you all. This is Jericho. Over and out.